Now, as Rosemary said, after these handshakes and welcoming to the grounds of Rideau Hall, they head towards the area where there will be a royal salute and an inspection of the guard. But along the way, they may well stop, as they say in the official program, to acknowledge the public en route. Well, we saw how they like to do that at the War Memorial. They like to plunge right into the crowd, and seem not the worse the wear for it after their time up at the War Memorial. And there they go, back into it again. Now, on the visit in 1919, the man who became Edward VIII and abdicated shortly after shook so many hands when he came to Canada in 1919. He had to switch from his right hand to his left hand. Wow. His hand was so sore. This fella keeps this up. Same thing's going to happen here.
Apparently the Queen on one visit to Canada, it was written in the press that she wasn't smiling enough. And she said, my face is sore from smiling. Look at the security trying to control the cameras and the crowds, because that is the whole thing. There's, as you said, they need to stay back, they need to give them room, and
well, we really, we haven't seen anything like this on the international stage since Diana, have we?
No,
I mean, go beyond the royal family. I just, other than, rock stars and what have you. But in terms of this kind of celebrity, we just haven't seen anything like it.
No, absolutely not. This really goes, as you say, 1983, when Prince Charles and Diana made their first visit to Canada. It's the same thing, the way the crowds yelled Kate, the way they are delighted, screaming, chanting. But this is exciting for Buckingham Palace, and the Queen, no doubt, is looking at this tour very closely to see how they are received, because it is the rebranding of and the relaunching of the royal family.
They've done, a few public appearances in Britain since the wedding, and there's lots of people there to meet them. I don't know whether the crowds had the kind of energy we're witnessing here.
Absolutely, we haven't seen
they're
this.
A little shyer.
It reminds me of their wedding, and we haven't seen it since. I totally agree. They did get a standing ovation at Wimbledon this week when they did appear, but no, we have not seen crowds like this since. It is hugely exciting.
Loved Andy Murray, the British tennis star, because they went to watch his game.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I didn't know they were coming. If I'd known they were coming, I would have shaved. He had one of those like hockey player beards on, keep him going right through the playoffs.
Well, they brought him luck, so. But apparently the Queen had a garden party yesterday, one of the first of the summer, and she spoke about how delighted she was with how Prince William and Catherine are performing their duties so far, and they're doing a great job. She's very pleased.
Well, I was, I guess, a little surprised last weekend when I was in Britain, that the extent to which, at least the papers that I picked up, and I picked up, 4 or 5 different ones, the amount of coverage they still give the royals, and mainly focused on these two. And Harry, Harry gets a pretty good amount of coverage too.
Well, it's all about William and Kate, and interestingly, I've been reading up in the press in Britain as well, and the whole thing that the press secretaries have decided that Prince Charles and Camilla should just stay in the background, and they're deliberately not making a big deal of any of the official duties that they're performing, because they know it's all about William and Kate and Harry, and who he's now dating, of course.
There was a lot of talk after the wedding whether Harry and Pippa
Hooked up.
were about to hook up. And Pippa, if you didn't know, although she's got to be the best known Pippa in the world, is Kate's sister, and was the bride, or the matron,
the maid of honor.
Maid
Yes.
of honor at the wedding. But he actually put out a denial last week. Said,
Yes.
no, that's not who he's going out with. She's a friend.
Well, you know that Pippa's bum has now a Facebook page with 175,000 followers following that
The
dress.
mother?
No, Pippa, the sister.
Oh, just the sister.
The dress that she wore has created this phenomenon now that she has 175,000 Facebook followers.
It was a pretty good dress. So everybody getting a handshake here as well. And if they're going to keep that going, it's going to be a while before the official welcoming ceremony to Canada begins. Well, believe you me, I think you're witnessing the official welcoming ceremony to Canada. You're seeing it outside Rideau Hall. You saw it at the National War Memorial. You saw it from the people of Ottawa and surrounding areas, and as far away at least as Illinois, as we saw from those people Anne-Marie was talking to. And listen to this crowd. They're loving every minute of it.
Around him. Sure.
So the Governor General now escorts the Duke and the Duchess towards the official welcoming area, and here now we will see a royal salute. We'll see an inspection of the Guard of Honor made up of members of the Canadian forces from all areas, many of whom have served in Afghanistan. Firing of the 21-gun salute. And then the remarks, speeches given by the GG, the PM, and
Come on, buddy. Go.
Prince William.
You guys away from the guard. Away from the guard.
A stately old building that was first built as a farm estate by the Mackay family in the early 1800s. Now the official residence has been since Confederation of the Governor General of Canada, and home for the Queen and members of the royal family when they're here in Canada. And the Prince now heading over towards the saluting base. And that was the Royal Salute, Majorca, played by the pipes of the band of the Ceremonial Guard. And that is the Prince's own standard for when he is in Canada. Now invited by the Troop Commander, Lieutenant Mitchell Cartner. I'm sorry, the Guard Commander is Lieutenant Commander Andre Savard. The 21-gun salute that you hear being fired in the background is under the direction of Lieutenant Mitchell Cartner. Lieutenant Commander now inviting the Prince to inspect the guard. None of these duties unfamiliar to Prince William. He is, of course, a member of the British Armed Forces, a search and rescue helicopter pilot. He's also Colonel of the Irish Guard. And now he heads to inspect the Special Guard of Honor that's been established for this welcome. Members of the Canadian Navy, the Air Force, the Army. Many of whom have served in different hotspots in the world, from the Gulf to Bosnia to Afghanistan. And the Prince stopping, as is the custom during an inspection of the Guard of Honor, stopping a few times to talk to some members of the Guard. Another, animated and more than a token discussion with one soldier there just a few moments ago. I'm sure it wasn't to say you didn't do a good job with your shoe shine there today. Governor General and Kate Middleton in discussion. I guess she'll be seeing a lot of these moments in the days, weeks, months, and years ahead. Part of the pomp and pageantry of the monarchy and of royalty is part of the tradition. But we've already seen that there are ways that they're hoping to break down some of the stodginess that's been attached to some past visits.
Absolutely. You're going to see some fun activities that they're actually going to participate in, which is very unusual because usually with all royal tours, the royals observe, whereas William will be showing us his flying skills as an RAF search and rescue pilot in Prince Edward Island. When he lands a Sea King helicopter, he's just got clearance to actually go ahead and do that.
Once the inspection's finished, there will be a second royal salute of the O Canada, played by the band of the Ceremonial Guard. And then the royal party and the Prime Minister and the Governor General will proceed to the riser directly in front of Government House, right down there under the archway, where they will each give short speeches, and we'll hear for the first time from Prince William in his official function on his visit here to Canada. spending a few moments first with the pipe band that played the first royal salute.
Oh, back up.
I'm talking to members of the band of the ceremonial guard who will play the second royal salute. Every once in a while you're hearing a voice pop in telling people to get back or back off or too close. Those are the kind of royal minders who are watching the media and trying to encourage them to stay within the distance that everybody'd agree to. And that can be kind of tricky for some, especially for the camera operators and audio technicians and others who are, you know, often caught in these awkward sort of walking backward stances. And so that's the guidance they're getting in that voice you hear every once in a while.
This is where we need the lip syncer like we have for the wedding.
That's right.
Prince William actually donned his first bearskin hat a couple of weeks ago during the Trooping the Colour, which was celebrating the Queen's birthday. So he must know how heavy and hot those hats actually are.
And it's a warm one here today. Nobody's complaining because the weather in central Canada at least hasn't been exactly summer yet. But it's getting that way today. It's supposed to be even hotter tomorrow for Canada Day here on Parliament Hill. So the various inspections now having taken place, they'll return for the second royal salute, and then we're going to hear the speeches. And if anyone had suggested to the royal couple that things were running late, it certainly didn't seem to bother him because he engaged in lots of conversation there once again. So let's listen in. "O Canada" is the second royal salute. And the playing of the Royal Salute, "O Canada." Now, as the Guard repositions itself, we get ready for the speeches, and I want to give advance warning to those viewers in Atlantic Canada as we come up to 5 o'clock in the Maritimes, 5:30 in Newfoundland, that your supper hour newscast will be on this evening, but it may be delayed a few minutes because I'm sure you too want to hear what the Prince has to say in his opening remarks, some of which we're told are in French, so that will be interesting to listen to.